Can you do it, guys? Can you name that QB?
That's in black and white. I'm going to go with QB12.
I'm with you, Randy. I'm with you.
We didn't Foxborough.
The picture's too old.
Smith.
What are you doing
know
with my hair?
He's traded Kim. That's Tim. My dad's on that.
Big and nice head of hair.
Yeah.
The hair.
Bro, why did you have us sitting up here trying to guess and you knew what you had? Anything to get a picture of me in the hair.
Even the fans here were thrown off on that one. All right, let's go from the old QBs to the young ones. A lot of eyes on the quarterback in Chicago today. For more on that, we go back to our insiders, Adam Schefter and Chris Mortensen. What do you know about Justin Fields this morning, Adam?
Well, thanks very much, Sam. Essentially, the Chicago Bears went with the healthier quarterback. They went with the number 1 pick, and they went with somebody who has the right opponent and right opportunity today against the Detroit Lions. The fact of the matter is, Andy Dalton had been limited all week in practice with that bone bruise in his knee that could sideline him here a couple of weeks. Justin Fields had a minor thumb sprain, but he was able to be a full participant. And Saturday night, the Bears made the announcement that Justin Fields will indeed start his second straight game today, Mort.
Yeah, Adam, and Justin Fields said he was much more comfortable in practice this week. Now, he wasn't Ohio State comfortable. One thing people seem to forget is that at Ohio State, he had great offense and a great offensive line. He was mainly a pocket passer. They did some misdirection and moved him around. But as a Browns coach pointed out to me from last week, that's not a very good offensive line with the Bears. He does hold on to the ball too long. He did that at Ohio State. This is an adjustment. It's a transition. This happens in the NFL. He's a tough guy, and the one thing that you certainly felt in the week was some tension there. Matt Nagy, the head coach, Bill Lazor, the offensive coordinator, and yes, Juan Castillo, the offensive line coach. But what a Browns coach said is that offensive line is just bad. So they expect improvement, Sam, but it's going to be a transition, obviously.
Yeah, everyone on set here is nodding their head yes when you say the O-line is bad. Look, it was a start to forget for Fields against the Browns. The rookie from Ohio State was sacked 9 times.
Eesh.
Completed 30% of his passes and finished with 68 passing yards in the loss. Those were all the worst for any starting quarterback in week 3. Well, Matt, last week you said it on our set. You said he wasn't ready, and he clearly wasn't. But I'm curious, do you think that was more a result of his own decisions or the play calling? Where do you assign blame in this one?
I put it more just that he wasn't ready to go. And, this idea that the game plan wasn't good. The game plan was fine in my estimation. There were naked bootlegs. There were RPOs where the ball should be handed off, but he's throwing it. There were zone read plays. They were chipping. They chipped with a running back and a tight end. They chipped and ran screens. This idea that they didn't do that is just inaccurate. They had 5-man protection, okay? And as a quarterback, 5-man protection means that you have 5 guys out in routes, 5 on 7. If you have 8-man protection, now I've got less guys out in routes with 7 defenders. So this idea that the game plan was reckless, I don't agree with that. I think what was reckless is putting him out there before he was ready. And what you want to do is protect this guy. I go back to when Andy Reid went to the Philadelphia Eagles. Doug Peterson was the quarterback that was kind of the punching bag, while Donovan McNabb, this great talent that someday was going to be a superstar, their guy, sat on the bench. And when Donovan was ready, then he came in and was the hero. I wish that's what they would have done with Justin Fields, because yes, they have Andy Dalton and they have Nick Foles. They have 2 capable guys of doing what Doug Peterson did for Donovan McNabb once upon a time. Instead, they threw him to the Wolves. He got shook. That Cleveland defense was coming for him. And with all that said, it was still a 7-point game in the fourth quarter, a very winnable game. If I'm the Chicago Bears, I'm finding a way to go 1-0 this week, and I don't care what else. That's my goal. And if Justin Fields' development has to wait a little bit so we can get a win, then so be it. But it was unfortunate I thought it was unfortunate for Justin to be put in that position, because he looked like I felt as a young quarterback, and it's a terrible, terrible feeling.
Yeah, I look at it this way. Look, I get it. He wasn't ready. Well, whose fault is that? It's hard for me to sit back and say a quarterback shouldn't be ready to go his rookie year. Why? Because I started 2 different rookies. So to me, I don't get that. You drafted this guy. You gave up 2 first-round picks for him. I look at him. He looks like a Maserati with 4 flat tires. Why? Because you're not putting air in those tires. You got to find a way. And, Matt, I disagree with you on this. To me, I think it is reckless to have 5-man protection on 21 of 30 dropbacks with a rookie quarterback that we all know rookie quarterbacks hold the football. You can't hold up. They can't block one-on-one.
Let me tell you what happened in that game. It was poor O-line play.
Absolutely.
Very poor wide receiver play and poor quarterback play. Okay, so
everything was
so
poor.
You need a stabilizer. In my mind, you need a stabilizer. Nick Foles would be a perfect choice right now. Andy Dalton's not healthy. If healthy, he would be a perfect choice right now.
You would rather have Nick Foles right now than Justin Fields?
It would benefit him. I would use Justin Fields the way the 49ers are using Trey Lance. Ironically, right now, rookie quarterbacks, what are they, 1-11? Mac Jones is the only one with a win.
That's where I'm like.
1-11. Trey Lance is the one that's being handled possibly long-term the smartest way.
There's a question. Excuse me, there's a question of concern at the quarterback play in San Francisco. There's a little controversy there. Do they want Garoppolo or do they want Lance? There is no quarterback controversy in Chicago, Matt. You made some great points, some very valid points, and I've been a fan of his since I saw him in preseason. And no, maybe he was not ready last week, but this football is a team sport. Last time I checked, and when it's a team sport and you have a guy struggling like Justin Fields is, that means that you put more around him. Simplify the offensive game plan. What you started out with in this segment, you was talking about all the different things that they had around Justin Fields. Rightfully so, because it's a National Football League. But in the National Football League, if you see that your quarterback is struggling, because the quarterback position is the main position in the National Football League, come back some, reeling back in a little bit, simplify the offense. So today, they're not going against a defense led by Myles Garrett, being able to give up 9 sacks. So being able to put Justin Fields, get him back on the spot is a must-see today.
I'm saying based on how badly he played last week, though, he's got to start this week. I mean, because you don't want your quarter. Would you like to sit on as a quarterback?
That's
1
fair,
yard passing. I'm checking my Instagram. I'm checking everything. You're terrible. You don't even have one pass. As a young player, you know what I mean?
You're
it's mentally brutal on him. Get out there, go ahead and throw for at least 50 yards. Maybe I'll take you out then, but still, let's boost his confidence a little bit.
You're absolutely right, because throwing for 1 net yard passing,
you can't let him live on that.
That's such a bad taste in your mouth.
You said they moved the pocket. They moved the pocket 3 times the whole game. That's
fault,
brilliant.
4 times.
Give them halfway. Give them half-field reads. Make it easy, or run. I mean, come on.
It is a little concerning, though, to see potentially what could happen in front of a home crowd today if it gets ugly against the Lions. By the way, the Lions, a team that for all their struggles, the Bears have been really good against, 5-1 in the last 6 games. But if the Boo Birds come out at home at Soldier Field, this thing could get
I have a feeling they're going to come out. They sometimes do.
Still to come on Countdown. It's about that time. Special Tom Brady edition of You Got Moss. Find out the top 5 throws from the GOAT that resulted in a mossed catch. And after Lamar Jackson and the Ravens pulled off another thriller last week, Justin Tucker takes the mic to sing the operatic soundtrack to his record-breaking kick.
Oh, I smell lobster.
You heard that correctly. All right, Matt, here's your chance to use your accent. You know, they don't tailgate with hamburgers and hot dogs around here. What do they?
I need pepper for my chowder.
Keep going.
We got lobster.
This is all you ever do.
Sully, Fitzy, and Murph, come down.
Some lobster in my omelet.
Oh, we're gonna get emailed about this.
Stir up the chowder. 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 That's what I said, chowder.
You know, if we take that wrapper back to the store, it can be recycled into other stuff.
Well, I want my wrapper to be